Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of Daybreak. In Daybreak, players take the role of one of the world's superpowers. Our goal is to reduce carbon emissions until we reach drawdown, which is the moment where we're collectively removing more carbon from the atmosphere than we're producing. If we can achieve that feat within 6 rounds, we win the game. Now, I went ahead and I got everything set up for a solo game. We take our solo starting cards, and we use this right here, which shows us exactly how to set up our board. This marker here represents our energy needs, and these represent how we're producing our energy. You can see we're starting with 6 dirty energy and 3 clean energy. All of these markers down here represent dirty emissions from a whole host of different sources like industry, transportation, agriculture, buildings, waste, and fuel extraction. All of these brown tokens are going to produce carbon emissions, and so our goal is to remove these from our board as fast as possible. But we're going to need to do so while still meeting our energy demands. You'll see how all that plays out here just in a second. Down here we have various resiliences that are going to help us deal with different events that are going to come up. And over here we start with one community in crisis. We need to be careful not to let these build up, because if it reaches the end of this track, then we'll lose the game. I've also decided to spice up this playthrough with one challenge card. These are fully optional, but you can use these cards in order to make the game easier or harder. I chose one that will make the game harder, and it is Dirty Growth. Basically, anytime we have at least one of these dirty energies, we're going to produce another one. Okay, that's enough to get us started. I'll explain everything else as I play, as I always do. So let's just jump right in. We start each round with the global phase. We're going to add crisis cards to the board based on where our temperature is. And right now we're starting here at the bottom, and that shows that we need to add 3 crisis cards. The first one goes into this forecast crisis spot, which means we can flip it face up. The other 2 will go face down. So these will resolve at the end of the round, and we can only see one of them, which is loss of fertile land. We're going to gain a community and crisis token for every amount that the temperature has risen. But we're going to reduce it by 1 for every one of our ecological resilience tokens, and we have 1 to start with. For now, we won't worry about that too much. We'll see how that works here in just a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is start a global project, and that's this deck over here. We're going to draw 2 of these and pick one to keep. So we're either going to start fossil fuel reserves declared stranded. Ooh, this seems really good, especially considering our dirty growth. In order to activate this, we'll need to tuck a card that has that symbol under it. But once we do, whenever we remove a dirty energy, we can remove as many as we want. That seems really good. We also have wind technology at scale. This would let us add more clean energy when we take an action that lets us add clean energy, but we would need to have at least 3 of those symbols in our tableau. Again, don't worry if none of this makes sense. It'll start to make sense soon. I do think, though, I want to do that global project, so we're just going to set it right there. Okay, so that's the global phase done. Now we go to the local phase. Here we get to draw 5 local project cards, which are these blue ones here. And now we get to play these cards to our tableau, as well as use them to take actions on the cards that we have in front of us. You can see here we have 5 columns or stacks of cards, and whichever card is on top has a special ability that we can activate. With these new cards that we have, we can either put them on top of the stack in order to get a new special ability, or we can tuck them underneath in order to add symbols that will power these special abilities. And this is what we're going to use in order to, remove these bad emissions, replace them with good, clean energy, and try to reach that drawdown level. Now let's look at a couple of these cards here and you'll see what I mean. So we start with these clean electricity plants. So this is saying that we can discard one of these cards from our hand in order to gain a clean energy equal to the number of that symbol that's in this stack. At the moment, since this card has one of those on there, then we would just get one clean electricity and add to our board. But for example, I could do something like this, tuck this card underneath. Now we have two of those symbols. So when I activate this by discarding a card, we would get 2 clean energy. Alternatively, though, I could put this on top, shift this up so I'm getting those symbols, and now I'd have a completely new special ability that I could do. This major solar program would let me discard a card from my hand in order to get 2 clean energy per that solar symbol, which I would have 2 of. So this would actually let me get 4 clean energy. But you can see down here, there's a requirement. I can't take this special ability until I have at least 3 of those symbols in this stack. And right now I would only have 2, so I wouldn't actually be able to take that yet. So those are basically the 3 ways that you can use these cards. Either put on top, tuck, or discard to activate one of these abilities. Right here we have Dirty Electricity Phase Out. That would let us discard a card in order to remove one of these dirty energies, 1 per this pink symbol. And I have another pink symbol here, so I could tuck this. And then I get to remove 2. But because of this, we don't need to do that. I think I want to start off by activating this card right here, this Clean Energy R&D. It's going to let us discard a card and draw 5 and then keep 1. And each round we can do that once per that symbol, that light bulb symbol. So let's go ahead and do that. We can place a little marker on here just to indicate that we've taken that action once, and that's pretty much all we can do this round. I'm going to discard this card and then draw 5 and keep 1. Now this is what I was looking for. Yep, that's what I was looking for. So I'm not going to even pay too much attention. We're just going to discard those and get this. Now why? Because I want to tuck this under here like that. And then play this on top. And now boom, I have the 3 of that symbol that I need to activate this. I can discard this card, or maybe I'll discard this one. And we will activate this, and we can activate this as much as we want. It doesn't have a limit to the number of activations. It's just anytime you discard a card, we're going to get 2 clean energy per that solar symbol, which we have 2 of, so we're going to get 4 clean energy. And I'll go ahead and use one of these that has 5 on it. There we go. So we haven't taken care of our dirty energy yet, but at least we have some clean energy. That's going to help us. Okay, I now think I'm going to place this here. This alternative cement requires one of those light bulb symbols, and it's going to let us do this once per round. And it's just going to let us remove one of these industry. So there we go, a little less pollution. Place that on there to mark we've done that this round. And with this card, I might just hold on to this. Yeah, I'll just hold on to that for now. Okay, we're now done with the local phase. We move on to the emissions phase. Here we're going to check our energy demand. And if we had less energy than our current demand, we would get communities in crisis tokens. And that's very bad. So you want to make sure, if at all possible, you're meeting your energy demands, which we are by a lot. We're now going to add the carbon that we're producing to this little track over there, the recent emissions. And this is easy enough to do. You just see how many of the dirty energy you're producing, which is 6. It doesn't matter that we're surpassing our goal. You still have to count it. So 6, and then we have 13 of those, so that's 19. We then get to use the trees and the water to sequester some of the pollution that we've just created. So in a solo game, at the start, you have 6 trees and 4 water, so we can sequester 10 carbon. We now add the rest over here to the thermometer. Now, because we're playing a solo game, we're just looking at this first box. As you play with more players, you would add, further to the right, but these 5 are completely filling that up for us. So we can replace it with one of these temperature tokens. Essentially, the global temperature has now risen by 0.1 of a degree. Those 4 fit in there. You need 5 to completely fill it, so those 4 can stay there. We don't increase the temperature yet. And there we go. These can get tossed. We now go to the crisis phase. And we're going to start by resolving planetary effects. So we look in the location of the, where our temperature is. So we're right here. And that shows that we need to roll this planetary die 1 time. Okay, and we got thawing permafrost. So we move that forward 1. And because we moved into one of those tipping point icons, we then resolve this planetary effect. And it shows right here, we're going to add 2 carbon cubes to the recent emissions bar. And we now resolve our crisis cards. So we're going to start at the bottom and move up. We have 1 of these strips, but we also have 1 ecological resilience token. So we're going to add 0 community and crisis tokens. So we managed to avoid any bad effects from that. Okay, Energy Charter Treaty. So this says that the player with the most clean energy tags in their play area must discard 2 cards with those tags from their hand and or play area. And in the solo game, we just have to discard 1. Well, I think if we remove this tag, then this won't work. I think we're going to remove this tag here. And lastly, we have the oil industry collusion. This says that the player with the most communities in crisis loses 2 social resilience, and in the solo game, you just lose 1. All right, so there we go. That gets thrown away. Okay, well, that could have been worse, but we got through those crises. We now move on to the growth phase. So we would check for victory right now. We obviously produced way more carbon than we removed, so we haven't reached victory yet. We're going to advance the round marker. We're going to increase our energy demands. And usually in a multiplayer game, you would do it by this number here. Each of these boards represents a different, world power. So this is the board for the United States. But in the solo game, you can use any board and you always increase your energy demands by 2 every round. So we're going from 9 to 11. And because of dirty growth, we have to add 1 dirty energy. And there we go. We go back to the top of the round with the global phase. We're going to add crisis cards. Still 3. Okay, we have a similar one to last time. This is storms, and this is going to be mitigated by our infrastructure. We get to start another global project. Again, draw 2, pick 1. Ooh, okay, and both of these are very similar as well. This is basically going to let us ignore the effects of a crisis card that can be mitigated by either ecological resilience or our social resilience. Well, since we don't have any social resistance, maybe we'll do this one. And now we get to draw 5 new cards, and you can have as many cards as you want. There's no hand limit. So every time you're going to draw 5 and add it to the ones you didn't play. And we're right back to being able to play our cards and activate our special abilities. Okay, I think I got exactly what I need. This card has that symbol on it, which is what we need to tuck here in order to activate this special ability. So now we can activate this. I'll discard this card. So that'll let us remove one of these dirty energies. And because of that special ability, we can remove as many as we want. So let's just go ahead and remove them all. Now the effect of that is we are not meeting our energy demand. But that's no problem because we have this major solar program going. I'll discard this card. And once again, we're going to get 4. And there we go. We are completely meeting our energy needs totally with clean energy. That's incredible. Oh, and look at this. I forgot. We can remove this because we can do this once per round. So let's just go ahead and do that again. Remove one of these. So we now have our carbon output at just 12. And again, 10 is getting sequestered. Unfortunately, we do have that 2, so I don't think we're going to be able to completely fix everything here. I like the idea of putting this right here. We're going to cover that up. And now we can, again, do this once per round. We get to draw 2 cards per that symbol, so we get to draw 4 cards. And we'll just keep the cards that let us reduce our either dirty energy or our emissions. So let's go ahead and do that right now. 4 cards. So, yep, that one lets us do it, so we can keep that. This one does not. This one does not. And this one does not. So we got 1 card out of that. I think I want to add this card here. This is going to let us draw an extra card, but at the beginning of the local phase, so we can't get it right now. But that'll give us an extra card next time. I think I might activate this. Let's discard this. I'll activate this Citizen Nature Service, and we could get any one of these, but because of this, I want to get another infrastructure. That should protect us from the storms. Ooh, and I'm just noticing, instead of doing that, I could activate that global project. Ooh, that might be better. Yeah, you know what? I do think that's better. So let's retcon that. All right, I'm going to tuck under there. Now, if one of these crises can be reduced by the use of social resiliences, then I can just ignore it. So we're taking a little bit of a gamble there, but I think that'll work out better. And this vertical farming I'll hold on to. We may want to use that, but it won't help us right now. We move on to emissions. We check our demand. We are meeting our demand. We're now adding carbon, and right now we just have 12. We know that 10 is being sequestered. And the rest is going to go over to our thermometer. Okay, 1 goes there. That increases us. But only 1 increase, so that's pretty good. We now have to roll this die 2 times. You're basically going to roll it as many times as these strips that you have. Okay, that goes up 1, but we didn't hit a tipping point. Whoops. Oh, okay. And it goes up again, so now we do hit a tipping point. And you can see here, we have to remove a tree per player. We're now only going to get to sequester 9 carbon rather than 10. That's a shame. And now it's crises time. Storms. We have 2 minus our 1 infrastructure. We're taking 1 community and crisis token. At the moment, that's not doing anything, but once we get down to this row, we're going to lose a card, so we'll be drawing 4 instead of 5 cards. Then it goes to 2, and then you can lose the game. Democracy erosion. Every player is going to lose 1 social resilience. Now, I don't have a social resilience. When that happens, you have to gain a community and crisis token for every one of the resiliences that you can't discard. So there we go. And forest fires. Oh no. Wow, so we have to lose 2 trees and add 2 carbon cubes. That sucked. Okay, now for growth. We did not achieve victory. Advance the round marker. Increase our energy demand by 2. But we have no dirty growth because we have completely removed all of our dirty energy. So that's at least good. Now we're on to round 3. Still 3 crisis cards. Sea level rise. We're going to lose a infrastructure resilience token, but we can mitigate that by just tucking a card, any card, under there. So that might be a good idea. We really need to get some more of these resilience tokens because these crises can be real bad. And now global project. Ooh. So this would let us ignore one of these rolls. I don't think we care about that anymore. It already happened. Let's do this one, Global R&D Fund. Okay, so this is going to let us tuck any card that has that symbol and then just draw 3 and keep 1. Definitely could be handy. Okay, we're going to draw 4. No, we're going to draw 5 cards plus 1 because of our carbon tax dividends. So that's 6 cards. And now we can take actions. Let's see what we can do here. So first of all, we can reactivate that. Remove one of these. Removing these emissions is our primary goal here. I think I'm going to tuck this. What order do I want to do this in? Okay, let's put this here. And then activate it. We can do this once per round. We're getting an extra ocean. So we'll just put this 5 out. Okay, so we're sequestering 8. I know I want to activate this, but I want to draw some cards too. I think we'll see about this, but I want to put this here. Can now do this once per round, draw 8 cards, and keep any that have those 2 symbols on them. 5, 6. Okay, there's 8. So, no, yes. No, no, yes. No, no, no. Okay, got 2 cards out of that. Okay, we're going to try it with this one now. This is just us hunting for cards. So now we can draw 7 and keep any with those tags. Okay, no. 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 Yes. 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 No. Okay, pretty good. Okay, perfect. We can tuck this. Now when we do this, we're generating 6. That'll meet our demands for a while. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Discard that. 6 energy. Okay. So now we won't have to worry about our energy needs anymore. Okay, I'm going to keep hunting for cards. Play that. Can draw 8. Ah, no. 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 No, and no. Ah! So I think we can play this here. This is going to let us increase our demand, but remove one of these guys. And we can do that twice because we have 2 leaves there. So let's do it again. Increase demand, remove the cow. Now I think I will activate this. So drawing 2 cards per those symbols. I'm drawing 6 cards. And I can keep any of that type. So yes, exactly what I need. Yes. No, 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 no. But this is exactly what we needed. So let's put this here. It requires 2 light bulbs, which we have. And now we can just do this once around, remove a car. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to discard this card to activate this again. 6 more clean energy. That should be enough. That should definitely be enough. So I think I can now cover this with this. I could also cover this, but it's going to help. So either going to have to go here or here. We're going to have to wait for that. Okay, instead I'm going to put this in here. I'll discard this and get 2 of these socials. I'll then put this on top and get 2 infrastructure. And there we go. I think I'm going to hold on to this card. I think I'm done. Okay, let's check out emissions. We're producing 8, which is all getting sequestered. So we just have the last 2. Oh, we were so close. Of course, our demand is fine. Oh, and these 2 are knocking us 1 more temperature level up. That's a shame. Wow, so that means we have to roll this 3 times. Okay, no effect. No effect. Come on. Ooh. Loss of Arctic sea ice. This is going to add 2 cubes per player, so just 2 directly to the thermometer. Now that's actually better than having it added to the recent emissions for us, so we don't mind that. And now, crises. Sea level rise, we lose an infrastructure. Fossil fuel disinformation. Okay, so this is going to stay in effect, and basically it just means that all of our crises cards are going to be face down now. Not a big deal. Every player discards 1 card per temperature band from their hand and or play area, but it's reduced by 1 per infrastructure. So 3 minus 2, we have to discard 1 card either from our hand or our play area. Now I think when we discard from our play area, we can take any card, not just the card in front. So we can really just get, like, I can get rid of this. That's no big deal. We survived. We have not achieved victory yet. Increase energy demands by 2. We are set with our energy demands. We're going to add crisis cards. Still 3. But because of this, they're all face down. Global project. Okay, so this is a good one. This will let us tuck cards under here, and then we can discard them to reduce the effects of the crises. And so that is a good one. We might just need to do that. All right, we're still drawing 5 cards. And let's go. Let's do some obvious things right off the bat. Remove a car. Get 2 infrastructure. Gotta tuck this. I really want 1 more of that money symbol here, because right now we only have 3, because I'd like to do this twice and be able to get rid of these 2. I also think I'm going to go ahead and throw this right here. That has the 2 money symbols that we need, and now I can activate that to remove this. Okay, so let's just do this. Throw this on here. Activate it. 2 social resistances. I'm going to tuck this under here. Then we'll activate this. So now we're drawing 10 cards. No, 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 yes. No, no, yes. No, no, yes. Okay, this is amazing. I'm gonna put that in there. And we can do this each round per one of these. So we can do this an unlimited number of times. We only need to do it twice. So 1, 2, increase our demand and remove these. Now we'll do this one. We only need to do it once. Get rid of that. And then we'll do this once. Get rid of that. Increase our demand. We're only producing 2 carbon now, so I think we've nailed this pretty well. Demand's fine. 2 carbon. We're sequestering 8. So we are now 6 under. We're actually removing 6 from the atmosphere, and we get to do that. So we can remove these 2. And then 4 more. So we've actually cooled the planet off. That's really useful because now we're just rolling this twice. 1, no effect. And we do get an effect there. We lose a tree. And that carbon goes up there, but that doesn't matter. We actually flip this over to show that we did trigger drawdown. So if we can survive till the end of the round, we win. So all we have to do is resolve these. Okay, we can protect with this. We would have lost 2 cards, but we have 4 of these, so we're fine. Okay, we don't have any of those, so we don't lose any trees. And once again, we're covered by our social resilience. And now we check for victory. We are victorious. So there you have it. That was a complete solo play of Daybreak. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.